Hi, Michael here, and in this video journal I will start bending the sides, taking the sides and trimming them to their pre-bending profile, putting them in the steam box, and then taking them on over to the bender. Keep watching. Okay, it's time to start working on the sides. And I have two sets of sides here of the ambrosia maple. And I have book matched them for the look at the bottom here. These sides are 2.2 millimeters thick and they're 34 inches long. I only need 30.5 inches is the total of the sides. To get my profile on the sides, I made this a long time ago. I simply made myself a piece of graph paper. It's about 38 inches long, and just every inch drew a line up and down. Then I measured a guitar starting at the lower bout all the way up to the upper bout at those 1-inch increments, placed a dot on my graph paper here, and then connected the lines. I transferred that information over to a little piece of flexible plastic that I'm going to use as my template to draw out on the sides. So here's the first set of sides here. Nice book match pattern. This will be the bottom of the guitar, this will be the top. And I am going to use this side here. No sense in bending any more width, especially a maple, than you need to. Okay, so there's that one. Have a set of sides. Once again, we have a nice book match at the bottom there. And I want as much of that figure as I can get on the guitar. So I will use it like this to get that in there. Now this curved side, as you see here, is the bottom, the back of the guitar. The top side is the flat side. So this would be the top, this will be the back. I'm just going to tape it together. And then I will bandsaw those. Alrighty, two sets of sides. Okay, it's time to start bending sides. And I've got a side down here on the workbench, and I'm going to show you how we do that. This is the ambrosia maple, one of the sides. It's been tapered or profiled to the back, and I have a piece of aluminum foil and a piece of parchment paper that the side will go into. Once it's ready to go into the bender. But first thing I need to do is to actually put this side in my steamer over here. I'm going to steam the side, then spritz it with some warm water, put it back in this sandwich, put it in the sandwich, and then take it over to the bender. Okay, I've got things set up over here by the steam. And I've got the steam generator on. I'm just waiting for the temperature to come up. At my side is the waste point marked and my sandwich of foil and paper already. So as soon as this temperature reaches the appropriate level, as things start to steam, we'll stick this side in there and let it steam for about 15 minutes or so. Temperature up to producing some steam, and put this in there. And button her up. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes in the steam box. So now we're going to go ahead and open it up. This is going to be hot. Pull this out of here. Line up my center mark. And then I'm going to take some warm distilled water. Close my package up. And then quickly over to the blender. Cool down to temperature. So let's go ahead and take it for it. Right there, but here we go. Okay, cutting the sides bent. Now it's time to put it in the mold. There's one side. All right, well, I've gotten the sides bent and they are placed in the mold that I used to assemble everything. I've got them clamped in place. And the next step is just going to be to go ahead and trim the excess off. And we'll do that with just a little flush cut. Before I glue on the blocks, and as long as I'm set up to bend, I will go ahead and bend the bindings for these builds now. These are actually a mahogany. It's a figured mahogany, flamed mahogany. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but it's a real tight flame. And it's really going to be pretty on these ambrosia maple builds. So I've got 2 sets to bend, and I always use 5 just in case. And I've got them down, taped down at the ends with just a little bit of a spacer in between. Just enough space so that they don't stick together when I'm gluing them up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fold this tape over on either end. Some of this excess tape here. I'm not going to put these in the steamer because they're glued up, and that steam in there would just soften that glue joint up, and I don't want that to happen any more than it's going to when I put them in the bender. I have some distilled water, and I'm just going to spritz on here. Sides. You can really see that grain pop with that water on there now. It's going to be real pretty binding against that ambrosia maple. And just let that soak in a little bit there. Some on the back. I use maple sometimes for bindings, curly maple, which is really pretty. But you have to really be careful with the maple bindings because this black inner veneer will tend to bleed. Place it in its paper sandwich. It's a little long, but that's okay. The bindings are way longer than I need them to be. And just for good measure, give enough water in there to turn to steam in the bender. All right, now that I've got them wet and in the sandwich, I'm going to take them over to the bender. They are in the little sandwich, and they are going to go down. Just a second. So into the bender. Find my waste mark. Should be right there. Just till they sort of touch. And I can get my temperature probes in there. Hot enough. I will let the temperature rise and fall a little bit for the next 15 minutes and simmer and wash it. Okay, I've just unwrapped the sides that I bent. I'm not going to use them for a while yet because I've got more work to do before I get to the point where I'm binding the bodies. So I just need to get them out of the way. I want kind of a keeper mold. And I'm just going to go ahead and clamp this second set on in. Okay. Well, that concludes this video journal on bending the sides and bending the bindings.
Next time I will work on gluing the blocks onto the 2 sets of sides that we've bent in this video journal. Thanks so much for watching.